The year was 2461. Humanity had spread across 100 worlds, from the shining domes of Luna to the red plains of Mars and far beyond. Ships with the mark of Earth moved between stars carrying people, machines, and dreams. For the first time in history, humans were united under a single flag known as the United Earth Directorate. Yet even with all their progress, they were not the most powerful race in the galaxy. That title belonged to the Galactic Council, an ancient alliance of alien civilizations that had ruled the stars for thousands of years. The Galactic Council was made up of hundreds of species. Some had wings, some had shells, some glowed like living stars. They saw themselves as keepers of order and peace. Every new race that joined the stars had to bow before them. Humanity had tried to resist that rule when they first reached the outer systems, but the Council's fleets were vast and strong. After one short but painful war, Earth accepted the Council's terms and became a member species under their control. Every few years, the Council demanded tribute from its member races. Some had to send technology, some had to send resources, and some had to send people. Humanity had been lucky until now. Their tribute was always simple: metal, fuel, and medicine. But this year, everything changed. The message came in the middle of the night. The signal flashed across every major command center from Earth to Titan Station. When the hologram activated, the tall and cold figure of Chancellor Vurek appeared. He was from the Zalari species, creatures with long limbs, silver skin, and eyes that never blinked. "People of Earth," the Chancellor said, his voice smooth but sharp. "The Galactic Council has decided that your tribute this cycle shall be different. You will send 1 million of your strongest citizens to serve the Council's needs. They will be used where the Council sees fit. You have 1 lunar cycle to comply." The broadcast ended. Silence fell across the command room of the Directorate's main base. Generals and diplomats stared at one another in disbelief. 1 million humans taken away to unknown places. Nobody said it aloud, but everyone understood. Those people would never return. Director Mira, the head of the Directorate, stood still. Her uniform was simple but heavy with rank. She was known for her calm thinking even in dark moments. Around her were officers, advisors, and scientists, all waiting for her to speak. "This is not tribute," Mira said at last. "This is punishment." The Council had long disliked humanity's rapid growth. Humans had gone from a single planet to 100 in less than 3 centuries. They had fought wars, rebuilt worlds, and formed colonies in regions once thought unreachable. Many alien species feared that one day humans would challenge the Council's authority again. Now the tribute demand was their way to keep Earth weak. The next day, debates filled the great halls of Earth's parliament. Some leaders said they had no choice. Refusal would bring another war, and the last war had almost destroyed Earth's orbiting colonies. Others argued that giving in would break humanity's spirit forever. While the leaders argued, people in the streets were angry and afraid. Families cried out that they would not send their sons and daughters to serve as slaves to aliens. Soldiers refused to be taken. The Directorate faced riots on several colonies. The Council's deadline was closing in, and Earth seemed helpless. In the middle of the crisis, one officer came forward with a strange idea. His name was Commander Aaron. He was young compared to the old generals, but his record showed bold thinking and sharp logic. When he asked for a meeting with Director Mira, she agreed. Inside the quiet war room, Aaron stood straight. "Director," he said, "the Council expects us to send 1 million people as tribute." They did not say what kind of people. Mira looked at him with a questioning gaze. "Explain," she said. "They asked for humans," Aaron continued, "but they never said those humans had to be free citizens. What if we send our prisoners instead?" The room went silent for a few seconds. The idea sounded wild, even dangerous. But Arun's reasoning was clear. Across the colonies, the Directorate held over 1 million convicts in high-security facilities, criminals, pirates, and violent offenders. Many of them had been sentenced to life in containment. If they were sent, the Directorate would lose nothing of value. At the same time, humanity would meet the Council's demand without sacrificing innocent people. Mira walked around the table thinking. "The Council will not be pleased when they learn what we have done," she said. "By the time they realize," Aaron replied, "the ships will already be gone. The demand will be fulfilled exactly as they ordered. We send 1 million humans? We do not lie, we only follow their words carefully." For hours, the Directorate Council discussed the plan. Some called it clever, others called it madness. But when the deadline came closer and fear grew stronger, Mira made her choice. "Prepare the transfer," she said. "But keep this operation secret. The Council must believe we obey them with full respect." And so the greatest secret operation in Earth's history began. Under heavy security, convicts from across human space were gathered. They were told they would be relocated to serve the Council. Many laughed, thinking it was some kind of cruel joke. Others begged not to go, but the orders were clear. Each prisoner was sealed in cryopods one by one and loaded onto massive transport ships. The ships were named Tribute 1, Tribute 2, and so on, up to Tribute 10. Each could carry 100,000 sleepers. They were old cargo ships refitted for deep space travel. No one except a few Directorate officers knew that these ships carried Earth's criminals, not her citizens. When the day came, the launch was broadcast across the systems. Cameras showed the massive silver ships leaving orbit, shining against the dark sky. The Council representatives watched with satisfaction, believing humanity had obeyed. On Earth, people cheered, thinking the nightmare was over. Only a small group inside the Directorate knew the truth. As the last ship left orbit, Director Mira stood beside Commander Aaron in the command deck. The blue curve of Earth shone below them. "You know what will happen if they find out," Mira said quietly. "I know," Aaron answered. "But maybe this time they will learn that humans do not kneel so easily." Mira looked at the stars. For a long moment she said nothing. Then she gave a small nod. "Let them have what they asked for," she said. "Let the Council enjoy their tribute." The ships vanished into the darkness of space, carrying 1 million souls who had once belonged to Earth's prisons. None could guess what fate awaited them beyond the stars, or how this bold act would change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. The 10 tribute ships traveled through deep space, moving far beyond human colonies and heading toward the center of the Galactic Council's domain. Inside the ships, 1 million human prisoners slept in cryopods. They were silent and frozen, unaware of their strange destiny. Each ship had a small group of officers and automated systems to guide it to the Council's collection station. Everything looked peaceful, but behind the calm surface was a secret that could shake the galaxy. On Earth, Director Mira kept a careful watch. The Council had sent no message yet, which was good news. It meant they believed the tribute was genuine. In her office on the orbital headquarters, she stood beside Commander Arun, who had designed the plan. A quiet tension hung in the air. "We sent them as ordered," Mira said. "Now all we can do is wait," Aaron nodded. "The Council will accept them. They never look too closely at human affairs. To them, we are just one more race under their rule." Still, Mira could not rest. She knew the risk. If the Council discovered that the tribute ships carried convicts instead of volunteers, their revenge would be swift. The Council did not forgive defiance easily. Far from Earth, deep in interstellar space, the tribute ships approached their destination. The collection station floated near a bright blue star. It was massive, shaped like a spinning wheel and surrounded by dozens of patrol ships from different alien races. The Galactic Council used it as a transfer hub. Every tribute ship from member species came here to deliver what was demanded. Some brought rare metals, others brought food or energy cores. Humanity's tribute ships were just one group among many. The lead ship, Tribute 1, was commanded by Officer Rayan. He was a calm man who had served in the Directorate fleet for 20 years. Like everyone on the mission, he knew the secret cargo he was carrying. The thought of it made him uneasy, but he also felt proud. For once, humanity had found a way to stand against the Council's cruelty. When the ships arrived, they were ordered to dock. Bright lights from the alien station scanned them from end to end. Council officers came aboard, tall beings with silver skin and glowing symbols across their heads. They did not open the cryobays. They only checked the number of pods and recorded data into their systems. "All seems correct," one alien officer said in a cold voice. "The humans have fulfilled their duty." Rayan saluted and bowed slightly, hiding his thoughts. The inspection lasted several hours, but everything went as planned. The aliens gave clearance, and soon the tribute ships were released. They would return to Earth empty, leaving their cargo behind. None of the Council officers suspected a thing. Inside the station, the cryopods were moved to massive transport ships belonging to the Council. Their destination was unknown even to the humans. Only the Council knew where their tribute workers were taken. Many believed they were sent to remote worlds to mine, fight, or build. Whatever the truth was, no one ever came back. Weeks later, news reached Earth that the Council had accepted the tribute. The official message was short. Delivery confirmed. Compliance noted. Across the human worlds, relief spread. People celebrated. The threat of punishment was gone. No more humans would be taken this cycle. For a time, peace returned. But peace never lasts long. While humanity celebrated, strange reports began to reach the Directorate from deep space. A cargo ship traveling near the outer systems had picked up a distress signal. The signal used old human codes, the kind used by Directorate ships decades ago. It was weak and broken, but one word repeated again and again. Tribute. Director Mira listened to the message in her office. The sound was distorted, but there was no mistake. The voice was human. She called for Commander Aaron immediately. This came from the sector near the old mining belt, she said. It carries our old encryption pattern. Only Directorate ships use it. Aaron frowned. Could it be one of our missing cargo vessels? Mira shook her head. The code prefix belongs to Tribute 2. That was impossible. Tribute 2 had completed its delivery months ago and never returned. According to the Council's logs, it was dismantled after unloading. Yet now its signal was being heard in a remote region, far outside Council territory. Aaron's eyes narrowed. Someone or something has reactivated that ship. We need to investigate quietly. Within a day, a stealth ship called Horizon was prepared. It carried a small team of skilled officers and scientists. Their mission was simple: trace the signal and find out what happened to Tribute 2. The Directorate gave no official statement. To the rest of the galaxy, it was just another exploration mission. The Horizon left orbit and vanished into dark space. It traveled for weeks following the fading signal. Finally, they reached a system with a dying red sun and broken asteroids floating around it. There among the rocks, they found a massive ship drifting without power. It was indeed Tribute 2. The hull was scarred and burned as if it had been through battle. Large holes cut through its sides, and parts of it glowed faintly from radiation leaks. The ship looked dead, but the signal was still coming from inside. The crew of Horizon approached carefully. After scanning, they found life signs, human ones. A small team, led by Arun himself, boarded the silent ship. Inside, they saw damage everywhere. Broken lights flickered, and the air was filled with dust. The cryopods were shattered or missing. Strange marks covered the walls, marks made by human hands. They looked like someone had carved messages using tools or even nails. One line was repeated again and again. Not tribute. Not slaves. We are free. As they moved deeper inside, they found survivors. Only a few dozen were alive, weak and tired but breathing. These were not officers or crew. They were prisoners, the same criminals who had been sent as tribute months ago. Somehow they had woken up during transport and taken control of the ship. The Council guards were nowhere to be found. One of the survivors, an older man with rough hands and a scar on his face, looked at Aaron and the others with wild eyes. You sent us to die, he said. But they made a mistake. They thought we were broken. They thought we would obey. They were wrong. Aaron and his team listened as the man told his story. When the tribute ships were delivered, the Council's workers had taken the cryopods to a remote mining world. But during the transfer, something went wrong. A malfunction in the system released a portion of the prisoners before they reached the surface. Chaos followed. The prisoners overpowered their alien guards, took control of a transport shuttle, and escaped. They found Tribute 2 abandoned in orbit, repaired its systems, and fled into the void. Now they were stranded but free. For the first time, they were no longer prisoners of Earth or the Council. They had seen what the Council truly did with human tributes, turning them into slaves for dangerous labor on forbidden worlds. When Aaron heard this, he knew the situation was far more serious than anyone expected. The Council had not only demanded humans, they had been using them as slaves for years. If this truth reached the public, the entire galaxy could change. Aaron contacted Mira through secure channels. Director, he said, we found Tribute 2. Survivors confirm that the Council uses our people as forced workers. This is not tribute. This is enslavement. Mira's voice was quiet but firm. Then our decision to send prisoners may have saved millions of innocent lives. But it also means we are standing on a dangerous truth. The Council cannot know we discovered this. What do we do now? Arun asked. We bring them home, Mira said. Every survivor. And we prepare for what comes next. Because if the Council learns we know, war will return. As the horizon began towing the damaged Tribute 2 back toward human space, the stars outside seemed darker and colder. Humanity had fooled the Council once, but now they had seen behind the mask of power. The truth could no longer be hidden forever. The return of Tribute 2 caused a storm within the Directorate. The ship's arrival was kept secret. Only a few officers and scientists were allowed to see it. The survivors were weak and injured, but their words carried great weight. They spoke of alien mines filled with human slaves, of cruel overseers, and of lost ships that never returned. Their stories proved that the Galactic Council had lied for years. Inside the Directorate headquarters on Luna, Director Mira held a private meeting. The room was silent except for the soft hum of machines. Around the table sat Commander Orion, General Faraz, and a few senior advisors. A holographic map of space glowed in the air, showing Council-controlled regions. Mira looked at each of them. "We now have proof," she said. "The Council has been using human tributes as labor on forbidden worlds. If the people find out, they will demand war." General Faraz crossed his arms. "Our fleets are stronger than before," he said. "But a full war with the Council will destroy entire colonies. They have thousands of ships." Aaron leaned forward. "War is not what we need right now. We need to think like they do. Use their arrogance against them. If they believe humans are still obedient, we have time to prepare." Mira nodded. "We will not reveal the truth to the public yet. The Council must not know we found survivors. The world still thinks the tribute was completed. We will keep it that way." The survivors from Tribute 2 were quietly moved to a secret base on Titan. There, doctors treated their wounds, and scientists recorded their memories. The leader among them, the scarred man named Rakeen, became a symbol of something dangerous, hope mixed with anger. He had once been a prisoner, but now his words inspired everyone who heard him. When Aaron visited him in the Titan facility, Rakeen sat near a viewing window, staring at Saturn's rings. His voice was rough but steady. "You sent us to die, Commander, but we saw what the Council hides. They fear humans. They know we learn too fast, build too fast, and never stop fighting. That is why they try to break us," Aaron sighed. "We did not know what they were doing. The tribute plan was the only way to protect our people." Rakeen gave a small smile. "Then maybe fate turned your trick into something greater. The Council took us as slaves, but now they will face something new. The same people they wanted to control will rise against them." Aaron knew Rakeen's words were true. Even if the Directorate stayed silent, the truth would spread one day. And when it did, every human world would burn with fury. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council continued its usual rule. On their grand world of EpicSciFiTales, the Council met in a hall of glass and light. Thousands of alien delegates floated or walked around, their bodies shining in many colors. At the center sat Chancellor Vurek, leader of the Council. He read reports with cold eyes. "The humans have fulfilled their tribute," said one of his aides. "Their ships returned empty. All records confirm delivery." Vurek nodded slowly. "Good. Let the humans grow comfortable again. They are ambitious creatures. When they grow too bold, we will remind them of their place." He had no idea that his own tribute shipment had gone wrong. On the far edge of the galaxy, one of the mining worlds was in chaos. Human prisoners, led by men and women who had once been convicts, had started an uprising. They had taken control of machines, seized weapons, and fought their alien guards. The rebellion spread quickly from one camp to another. The slaves were tired of chains. The Council's overseers called for reinforcements, but the rebellion was growing faster than they could react. The spark had been lit. Months passed. The Directorate rebuilt the remains of Tribute 2 and studied every detail of its systems. They found fragments of Council data in its computers, information about secret mining worlds and transport routes. It was proof that the Council had hidden the truth not only from humanity, but also from other member species. When Mira saw the data, she said quietly, "They treat many races this way. If others learn, they will turn against the Council too." Aaron replied, "Then we must find a way to share this truth without revealing that we were behind it." Together, they formed a secret plan. A group of Directorate agents skilled in infiltration would spread the recovered data across different systems using neutral channels. The messages would appear as anonymous leaks. That way, no one could trace them back to Earth. While the Directorate worked in the shadows, Rakeen and the other survivors grew restless. They did not want to hide. They wanted to fight. Rakeen trained every day, pushing his body and mind. His followers, once prisoners, now acted like soldiers. They believed they had a purpose: to free the humans still enslaved on Council worlds. One evening, Rakeen met Orion again. "You keep secrets and wait," Rakeen said. "But waiting is what the Council wants. We should strike first. We should send a message that humanity will never kneel again." Aaron looked at him carefully. "If we act too soon, we will lose everything. The Council still believes we are obedient. That belief is our shield." "Then I will not wait," Rakeen said. "You saved me once by sending me away. Now I will return to finish what began." Before Aaron could stop him, Rakeen and a small group of his followers escaped Titan Base. They stole a fast ship and vanished into deep space. Mira was furious when she heard the news, but Orion defended him. "He is not a soldier," Orion said. "He is a symbol. The Council will not see him coming." Mira frowned. "If he starts a war, we cannot protect him." Some weeks later, a new rumor began to spread across alien networks. Reports said that on several distant worlds, slave camps had been destroyed by human raiders. No one knew who they were or where they came from, but they struck with speed and precision. They freed slaves from many species, not just humans. They left behind only one message carved into walls and terminals: "Humans remember." The Council grew alarmed. Chancellor Vurek demanded answers. "Who leads these attacks?" he asked. "Are they human soldiers?" His aides searched for proof but found nothing. The humans of Earth denied any involvement. Their ambassadors sent polite messages promising loyalty. Vurek did not believe them, but without evidence he could not act. Back on Earth, Mira and Orion watched the news with mixed feelings. They knew the truth. Rakeen and his group had become a hidden force known among the colonies as the Freeborn. They operated beyond Directorate control, attacking Council bases and freeing captives. Their numbers grew as more people joined them. What began as a tribute had turned into a rebellion across the stars. Still, danger was rising. The Council had begun to move its fleets quietly, preparing to strike if needed. Mira knew that one mistake could bring total war. She called a meeting with her closest officers. The room lights dimmed as she spoke. "We stand at a turning point. The Council thinks we are weak, but our people are awakening. We must be ready for what is coming. If war arrives, it will not be like before. This time we fight not for survival, but for freedom." Orion said, "If Rakeen's group keeps striking, the Council will send an army to punish us." Mira replied, "Then let them come. Humanity will not be silent anymore." Far away, Rakeen and his followers landed on another hidden mining world. Thousands of human slaves worked there under alien guards. With stolen ships and captured weapons, Rakeen's team attacked at night. The battle was fierce but short. The guards were defeated and the humans were freed. As dawn rose over the red sky, Rakeen stood before the freed workers and spoke. "The Council thought they owned you," he said, "but you belong to no one. You are human and humanity does not forget." Cheers rose around him. The freed workers joined his ranks. The rebellion was no longer small. It was becoming an army. News of these attacks finally reached Chancellor Vurek. His calm mask began to crack. "These humans test our patience," he said. "They think they can hide behind false obedience. Prepare the fleet. If Earth defies us again, we will burn their worlds." But even as he spoke, the truth was spreading faster than his threats. Across the galaxy, other races began to question the Council. Some whispered that maybe humans were right to resist. Maybe the Council was not the guardian of peace it claimed to be. In hidden corners of space, humanity's secret fire was growing brighter. They had turned a cruel tribute into the start of a rebellion that would soon shake the galaxy to its core. The rebellion sparked by Rakeen and his freeborn group was growing fast. Across the galaxy, humans who had once been prisoners were now soldiers, leaders, and symbols of hope. In every corner of the Council's domain, whispers of human strikes reached alien ears. Reports of freed slaves, destroyed bases, and stolen supplies unsettled many Council species. What had been a simple tribute demand had become a symbol of defiance, and the Council was not used to being defied. Back on Earth, Director Mira watched the unfolding events with a mix of pride and worry. The Directorate had managed to secretly support Rakeen's missions, providing intelligence, small weapons caches, and coordinates, all without revealing direct involvement. It was a delicate balance. Humanity had to appear obedient while secretly helping the Freeborn expand their operations. Commander Orion stood beside Mira in the control room. Holographic screens displayed star systems, Council patrol routes and freeborn strike locations. He pointed at one of the displays. If we strike here, we can free another 20,000 humans. The Council will lose resources, but they won't know we were involved. Mira nodded. Prepare the plan, but ensure no Earth ships are visible. If they trace any movement back to us, it will be war immediately. The Freeborn had become skilled at stealth operations. Using captured Council ships, they moved through space unseen, striking at slave labor camps and abandoned outposts. Each mission strengthened their reputation. Humans across the colonies began to see them as heroes rather than criminals. Even species other than humans started to question the Council's authority, seeing that rebellion was possible. Rakeen studied the maps aboard his flagship, the Shadowhawk. His group had grown in number. Survivors of Tribute 2 and freed humans from other worlds now numbered thousands. They trained every day, learning to use alien technology, weapons, and ships. Rakeen's goal was clear. Humanity would no longer be pawns in the Council's games. One evening, as the Shadowhawk orbited a red gas giant, Rakeen spoke to his commanders. We cannot stop. Every mission we complete shows the Council that humans cannot be controlled. But we must remain hidden. If they discover us too early, our forces are still too small to face their fleets. One of his lieutenants, a sharp-eyed woman named Lyra, asked, How do we know the Council will not send reinforcements? They have fleets stronger than anything we can face. Rakeen's gaze was steady. Then we make them believe we are everywhere. Every ship we attack, every camp we liberate leaves a message. Humans remember. Humans do not kneel. Let them fear the idea of us more than our numbers. Meanwhile, on ViewerShip, Chancellor Vurek's patience was wearing thin. Reports of freeborn attacks were piling up. Entire supply convoys had been destroyed, and several Council mining worlds had revolted. The Council had underestimated humans. Vurek demanded immediate action. The humans have forgotten their place, he said. They believe they can defy the Council. Find them, destroy them, make an example of their world. Vurek's aides scrambled to plan a response. Unlike other species, humans were unpredictable. They adapted quickly, learned from mistakes, and organized themselves faster than any Council records predicted. The Council's intelligence underestimated humanity's resilience, and that would prove dangerous for them. Back on Earth, Mira and Orion held emergency strategy meetings. They had to ensure that Earth and the human colonies remained protected. If the Council discovered that the Freeborn were humans, they would strike immediately. Thousands of civilian worlds would be at risk. Aaron studied the data carefully. The Council will not attack immediately. They believe we are obedient. They see the attacks as random rogue groups, not coordinated humans. That gives us time to prepare, Mira added. Time is short. We need to strengthen our defenses and continue supporting the Freeborn covertly. Our people are united, but the Council's fleets are vast. One mistake, and countless lives will be lost. Meanwhile, Rakeen led his fleet to a distant mining colony called Vara Prime. Thousands of humans worked there in harsh conditions under alien overseers. The Freeborn used captured stealth ships to approach silently. As night fell over the red deserts, they launched their attack. The operation was precise. Alien guards were neutralized before they could send alerts. Workers were freed, ships captured, and a message was left for the Council. You underestimate humanity. The strike sent shockwaves across the Council's communication networks. Alien worlds began questioning the Council's control. Some minor species even contacted human representatives secretly, hoping to learn more about the rebellion. Humanity's reputation was shifting. From weak and obedient to cunning and relentless, humans were becoming the galaxy's rising shadow. On Earth, Mira received coded messages from the Freeborn after each successful operation. She read them carefully. Each report described freed workers, captured supplies, and minimal casualties. The Freeborn had learned to strike efficiently. Orion reminded her, each victory strengthens morale and undermines the Council, but the Council will respond eventually. We must be ready, Mira agreed. Our priority is the safety of human worlds. We fight smart, not recklessly. The Council underestimates us. That is our advantage. Rakeen, however, did not wait for the Council to act. He focused on building alliances among freed humans and sympathetic alien species. Every liberated colony became a small hub for training, intelligence, and repair. The Freeborn had no fixed base. Their strength was mobility, secrecy, and determination. Humanity's ingenuity turned prisoners into strategists, slaves into engineers, and victims into warriors. During one mission, Rakeen intercepted a council message. It was a warning sent to all colonies. Humans are to be watched. Any support for rebels will be punished. Compliance is mandatory. The freeborn laughed when they read it. They had become more than threats, they had become symbols. Symbols that inspired fear in their oppressors and hope among the oppressed. Rakeen addressed his team before another strike. Remember why we fight. Not for power, not for revenge, but for freedom. Every human freed, every message sent shows the galaxy who we are. We are humans. We do not obey tyranny. We do not forget. As the Freeborn continued their operations, Chancellor Vorek ordered the Council's fleets to move cautiously. They could not locate the humans directly. Each attack seemed random, but the scale of disruption was growing. The Council's advisors began to question Vorek's leadership. For centuries, the Council had ruled without serious resistance. Humanity was the first race to show them that control could be challenged, and challenged effectively. On Titan Station, Mira and Aaron reviewed intelligence. The Council may strike at human colonies if they discover the Freeborn, Aaron warned. We need contingency plans, Mira nodded. We prepare shelters, move civilians, and strengthen defenses. But we also continue supporting the Freeborn. Their strikes keep the Council cautious. If we are clever, we can turn this into a larger advantage. The galaxy was changing. Humanity, once considered weak and obedient, had flipped the script. What started as a tribute of prisoners had become the foundation of a rising movement. Across countless star systems, humans remembered the chains they had once worn and the injustice they had endured. They refused to kneel. They refused to be forgotten. As Rakeen's fleet disappeared into the dark expanse, he looked back at the red horizon of Vera Prime. We are only beginning, he said quietly. The Council believes they control the stars. They are wrong. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity does not forget. Even in the Council's grand halls on Virex Prime, unease spread. A single race of humans, once thought weak and obedient, had shaken the foundations of an empire. The message was clear. Humanity had returned to the galaxy with new strength, new courage, and a new fire that would not be extinguished. The rising shadows of human rebellion were only beginning to take shape, and the Council would soon learn that even their vast power could not hold back the will of a determined people. The galaxy had changed. Humanity, once a member species quietly obeying the Galactic Council, had become a force no one could ignore. The Freeborn, led by Rakeen, had grown into a fleet that struck across Council space, freeing humans and other species from hidden labor camps. The Directorate, from Earth and its colonies, continued to support them secretly, providing intelligence, supplies, and covert assistance. The Council, proud and arrogant, had no clear way to respond. On Titan Station, Director Mira looked out at the stars. She had never felt so tense, yet so hopeful. The Freeborn were succeeding beyond expectations. Each report brought news of victories, liberated colonies, captured ships, and morale-boosting messages sent across the galaxy. The Council had tried to keep humanity in fear, but that fear had turned into determination. Commander Aaron entered her office, holding a fresh report. The Freeborn have liberated another settlement on the planet Taylor, he said. They captured several Council supply vessels. Our intelligence shows the Council fleets are confused. They cannot track human operations. Mira nodded. Good. The more they think we are disorganized, the safer our worlds become. But we must continue carefully. One mistake and they will strike. Rakeen, aboard the Shadowhawk, received news of these victories. He smiled, but he did not celebrate. Every mission reminded him of the lives lost to the Council's cruelty. Every freed worker strengthened his resolve. He gathered his commanders for a meeting in the ship's strategy room. Listen carefully, he said. We are strong but not invincible. The Council has resources beyond our imagination. If we fight openly, billions could die. We must act smart. We strike fast, we move, and we disappear. Every liberated world becomes a base for knowledge, training, and hope. His lieutenant Lyra spoke up. Do you think the Council will ever stop us? Rakeen shook his head. No, they do not understand humans. They think fear controls us. They are wrong. Humans remember. Humans do not surrender. Across the galaxy, the Council convened emergency meetings. Chancellor Vorek's calm exterior had begun to crack. Reports of freeborn victories, attacks on supply lines, and the liberation of slaves from various species alarmed the Council. They realized they had underestimated humans. Their spies had failed to predict the rebellion's scale, and now it was spreading like wildfire. Find them, Vurek commanded. Locate the humans responsible. Destroy their bases. Show the galaxy that no race can defy the Council. His advisors protested. They are clever, Chancellor. Every strike seems unpredictable. We cannot locate them. Vurek slammed his clawed hand on the table. Then we must use strategy, not brute force. Set traps, cut communications, block their supply routes, find a way to contain them before they grow stronger. On Earth, Mira received encrypted messages about the Council's movements. The Council was gathering fleets near the outer systems, preparing to strike. The Directorate quickly moved civilian ships to safer orbits, reinforced planetary defenses, and prepared hidden fleets. Humanity had no intention of fighting recklessly. They would fight smart, using the advantage of surprise and knowledge. Aaron pointed to the star maps. The Council fleets are massing near 3 sectors. If we time it right, the Freeborn can strike while the Council is focused elsewhere. We can free more humans and weaken their control simultaneously. Mira nodded. Prepare the operation. This will be our largest mission yet. Success will show the Council that humanity does not obey, and failure is not an option. Rakeen led the Freeborn into the Council's heart. Their target was the mining planet Zoreth Prime, a hub for enslaved humans and aliens. Hundreds of ships patrolled the orbit and thousands of guards patrolled the surface. The planet had never seen rebellion, and the Council believed no one could overcome it. Rakeen's fleet approached in stealth. Using captured ships, hidden channels, and precision planning, they landed forces in multiple locations at once. Freeborn teams quickly neutralized guards, unlocked labor camps, and freed thousands of workers. Citizens of Zoreth Prime were amazed to see humans leading the charge. Even alien species joined the rebellion, inspired by the Freeborn's courage. From orbit, Rakeen watched as signals of chaos spread across the planet. Fires, alarms, and movement everywhere. But it was organized chaos. His plan worked. Within hours, the labor camps were freed. Supplies, weapons, and ships were captured. The Freeborn left messages carved into walls and broadcast over networks. Humans remember. Humans do not kneel. The victory was decisive. The Council could no longer ignore humanity's growing influence. Even on Earth, citizens cheered secretly as news of successful Freeborn operations spread. Humanity had turned a demand for prisoners into a statement of power and defiance. The galaxy was beginning to see humans not as pawns but as equals, capable of ingenuity, courage, and resistance. Back on Virex Prime, Chancellor Vurek's face showed frustration. They act everywhere, he said. Everywhere we look, humans strike and vanish. We have underestimated them. Prepare the fleets. I want humanity crushed before they inspire more rebellion. Yet Vurek did not realize that humans had learned more than tactics. They had learned the Council's weaknesses. They knew that the Council depended on fear, secrecy, and underestimation. And humans had turned these weaknesses into strengths. Director Mira and Commander Aaron prepared for the Council's response. We must expect retaliation, Mira said. But humanity is ready. Our colonies are protected, our fleets are prepared, and the Freeborn continue to expand. This is our moment. The first signs of retaliation came quickly. Council fleets entered the outer systems, aiming to strike human colonies. But thanks to careful intelligence and pre-planned defenses, the attacks were anticipated. The Council expected panic. Instead, they found organized resistance. Earth's fleets, though smaller, struck with precision, defending colonies and damaging the invading forces. The Council was forced to retreat, unable to predict human strategy. Rakeen and the Freeborn continued their raids, now targeting supply lines and command outposts. Each mission freed more humans, and the message spread: humanity cannot be controlled. The Council's rule, once unchallenged, faced unprecedented defiance. Fear had shifted. Humans had become symbols of courage, cunning, and unyielding spirit. Finally, news of a decisive strike reached Earth. The Freeborn had liberated the massive Council station Nyrex Hub, a center controlling multiple slave labor operations. The Council had underestimated human ingenuity again. Using stolen ships and knowledge of the station's systems, the Freeborn disabled defenses, freed thousands, and sent a final message to the Council. Tribute will no longer be demanded from humans. We are free. We will not serve. Director Mira received the message with quiet pride. Humanity had achieved something remarkable. From the humiliation of a tribute demand, humans had turned the situation into a strategic victory. They had freed their own people and inspired countless others across the galaxy. Humanity had proven its strength, intelligence, and courage to all species, including the most powerful council in the galaxy. Chancellor Vurek, reading the reports from Nerek's hub, realized the truth. Humans had not just survived. They had adapted, learned, and turned the council's arrogance against them. The humans were no longer subjects. They were equals. Fear would no longer control them. Respect, or at least caution, was now required. On Earth, Mira addressed the Directorate. Humanity faced a cruel demand and was tested, she said. We were asked to send our people as tribute. Instead, we preserved life, learned the truth, and fought back. This is a victory not just of skill but of spirit. Humanity has proven that we do not kneel, we do not forget, and we will protect what is ours. Orion added. From prisoners to heroes, humans have shown the galaxy what we are capable of. This is only the beginning. The stars will remember humanity. Far in space, Rakeen watched the liberated workers settle on safe colonies. The freeborn fleet regrouped, ready for the next phase. We began as survivors, he said. Now we are a force. We will ensure that no human will ever be taken again. The Council may be powerful, but humans are stronger than they imagined. Our time has come. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of humans not as servants, but as a species that could fight, think, and win against impossible odds. From the demand for prisoners to a campaign of liberation and courage, humanity had flipped the Council's expectations entirely. They had taken control of their destiny and shown all species that determination, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the mightiest power. And so, the stars themselves seemed to shift, not because of fleets or battles, but because humanity had reminded the galaxy of a simple truth. Humans never surrender. Humans never forget, and humans always rise.